are you? How is everybody doing tonight? I know. I'm a little late coming to you with the new moon Libra season video, but a lot of things going on now that it's Libra season. And I've just got to pace myself. So that's what I'm doing. And now I'm giving you your Libra season and new moon video. I might use some cards. I may not. Libra is a cardinal air sign. Cardinal signs are initiatory, or they are initiators, and they are leaders because they lead us into each season. The first cardinal sign is Aries, and it leads us into spring. The second cardinal sign is Cancer, leading us into summer. And Libra is the third cardinal sign, and it initiates the fall, the autumnal equinox. So, Libra being the seventh sign is the first time that we get to see a sign directly oppose a sign. So it is the first, just like Aries is, but it's the first to reflect. It is the first to reflect back, because Cancer reflects, but Libra reflects back. And Libra is like a mirror, right? For every action, there's a reaction. Give and take, pros and cons, yin and yang, black and white, sweet and salty. You can't have one without having the other. Who you gonna fight? Yourself? Who's that ram gonna bang into? A tree? It'll never win. I digress. Libra's like the Libran energy, likes peace and harmony above all things, very sensitive to confrontation, although they can definitely handle it. Just because Libra does not like confrontation does not mean that they cannot handle it. They are the first sign that opposes. That's a challenge. Actually, no, I don't want it to be that. Maybe it could be this. Very Aquarian. With those 11, that Roman numeral 2 looking like an 11, the Justice card being 11 in the tarot, Aquarius being the 11th house, as above, so below, right? Venus is the ruling planet of Libra. Venus is the goddess of love. She is justice. She is beauty. She is love. Creativity as well. Connected to Pisces, right? Venus connects Pisces and Libra together, and Taurus as well, right? She does. So Libra also does talk about security, because Pisces and Taurus talk about security as well, which are kindred or kin to Libra by way of Venus. And Libra is talking about the personal perspective and also the other perspective, right? My ideas and your ideas come together to formulate something better than just our own single ego-driven opinion, right? Or what have you. Justice is fairness. Justice is the equalizer, supposedly. Sometimes justice can be unfair, right? Sometimes there are mistakes that are made, right? sometimes things have to be rectified. Yes. Libra doesn't like to make mistakes. It sort of learned that it was seasoned to not make mistakes or to feel sensitive towards making mistakes in things that might be, unrest, right? Okay. I'm thinking of something. I'm always like, it's that cosmic connection or whatever they call it. Cosmic source. What is it? Cosmic consciousness. Okay. Libra is very evolved, right? It's evolved because we've had 6 signs before it, right? And now we have it opposed, where we have a complete picture of something, right? Or at least half of it, right? But we definitely understand something with that Libra energy, right? Because it isn't until you make a connection and understand what that connection means for you that you begin to realize who you are from that connection which you have made, that is reflecting back to you who you don't want to be. So there's a conflict within oneself, right? When we're thinking about Libra energy. And also there's a threatening sensibility or a threatening energy behind the Libra energy, because it is poised, it is graceful, it is socially aware, right? There is that level of social grace that can't be matched by other signs, just because that's not what they specialize in. That's not their superpower. And that does not mean that a Libra would be superficial or fake. It really is just a polishing, right? How polished are you in your aesthetic, your appearance, the way that you speak? Are you eloquent? Can you get your point across? Do you understand what others need and also what they want? Because Aries wants something, but Libra needs, right? And so does Cancer, which squares Libra. And Libra is the 7th house. Cancer, the Chariot card, number 7. Libra is just as sensitive, but sensitive in the mind, right? Because it wants to make the connection, right? It wants to make many connections, actually. Gemini makes connections, lots of connections, but it brings the idea of the connections, the possibilities. So it's just, very widespread. It does not commit itself really to anything, right? That Mercury energy. Okay. Venus has a connection to Mercury. She's basically the mother. Basically, if you think of other, sorry, I can't think of what I'm saying because I'm not feeling great. My birthday's tomorrow, though. In Greek mythology and other mythology from other cultures, Venus and Mars, Eros, Aphrodite, gave Mercury his life. They're basically the parents. If I'm wrong about this, somebody correct me, okay? But anyway, she has a connection to the 3rd house, right? Mercury, okay? Gemini is esoterically ruled by Venus, okay? And Gemini is the 3rd house, and Empress is the 3rd card. Major Arcana. Go figure. And 3s do talk about children as well. I digress. Saturn is exalted in Libra because there's a great responsibility when it comes to relationships and relating, right? Because what are you understanding? What are you learning through your relationships that you can apply through work, effort, skill, right? You don't want to have to go through life learning the same lessons over and over and over again in your relationships. Otherwise, you'll never be able to keep anyone around, right? Saturn. I can't keep teaching you the same thing over and over and over again. Hopefully you'll learn this time so that I can teach you something else to make it better the next time, right? And Libra is sensitive to that because of that Saturnian energy, right? It's kind of like we're learning from each other here and we should be applying what we're learning, but then it's also very nonverbal, which is the connection that they have to Cancer, right? They are two of the most receptive signs. And I actually am a Libra sun, Cancer moon, Libra rising, okay? So sometimes, you're just a little bit too open for folk. And it's not even really like, being a Libra, I'm just kind of like open to making connections with people. And I feel like if I haven't done anything to harm you or to make you angry with me personally or perhaps anything, then you should have no problem with me. You don't have to like me, but you shouldn't have a problem. The minute that you have a problem with someone that you don't know, it really becomes about you. There's the reflection, right? Relating to everything and everyone, right? Esoterically, Uranus rules Libra. And Uranus is representative, or Uranus is represented by the Fool. And the Fool is shakeups, right? When you think of a scale is totally fine until someone stands on it, puts something on it, weighs something, tests something out, plays with the scale. People play with scales a lot. And then they don't even want to believe them, right? As soon as somebody steps on the scale, that can't be right. I'm offended. How dare you say that I weigh that much? Girl, I was just giving you the truth. You stepped on it. You said you wanted the truth, and then when I gave it to you, you were mad at me for giving you the truth. Well, now I'll just be a little incorrect now. I won't be here nor there. I'll be like 2 pounds heavier one day and 2 pounds lighter the other day. Which one are you happy with? I don't know. You won't believe me anyway if I told you. And it's not lying or anything like that. It's not being, secretive. It's really, Libra is very nonverbal, and they know what reaction or response they're going to get before it happens. I mean, I can't speak for everyone because I do have a Cancer moon, and I do have Pluto in my first house, and I do have the Sun in my 12th house. So then it's kind of like clairvoyancy and the ability to see and feel are great. Okay? And you can't change that. So, yeah. Uranus, shakeups, change, fluctuations, ups and downs, right? Eccentricities, right? Because it's like Libra, the aesthetic thing, it's not always saying it has to be like, well, it does have to be beautiful, but what are your tastes? There are different taste levels, right? With things that are beautiful within that taste level, within that flavor, right? So you might experience many different types of Libras, right? You might have Libras that are a little bit more goth. You might have some that are a little bit more AKA. You might have some that are a little bit more Delta. You might have some that are a little bit more dandy. Very much so. You might have some that are very like executive. They like to be tailored, really put together. A Libra likes colors because it's about, sensitivity to, sight, right? Aesthetic. Oh, color. That's an aesthetic thing. Now, Saturn is karma, and most of our relationships are karmic, especially the long-term ones, right? Okay? You're learning things about the other people. You're learning things about life, which is great. Which is you're gaining perspective. Your mind is maturing. It's getting you ready for that next phase of the mind, which is Aquarius, right? For sure. And Uranus rules Aquarius. There's another connection that Libra has to that 11th house. And Scorpio, Uranus is exalted there because they love radical and great change. Now, Uranus is the esoteric ruler of Libra, right? Now, if Libra's relationships, right, social, commercial, one-on-one with groups, your relationship with your government, your relationship with everything. Scorpio is intimate relationships, because once you marry someone or once you get into a business partnership with someone, then you start to discover and things start to reveal themselves, right? Things do. Things come to the surface, right? Very much like water energy, like a water sign, right? Once you get in that pool, then you know what's going on. You know the temperature of the water, right? Now, the Empress is representative of Venus energy, right? I've said that before. And Venus is creativity. It is, projects. It's aesthetic. It's confidence. It is, resourcefulness. It is tapped in to define feminine energy. It is resourceful. It is reliable, right? It is there. She likes to give. The Empress also waits, right? There's that thing with time again. Sometimes she gets too comfortable in her environment and it needs to change. Thank you, Uranus, for being the esoteric ruler of Libra. Right? Because Libra is an air sign, so that's always changing the mind, right? Venus rules Taurus, but because Uranus is exalted in Scorpio, then it's going to definitely be in its fall in Taurus. So Uranus is actually in Taurus right now. So that's going to make it seem very difficult to handle changes and things that occur, right? In institutions and commitments, relationships, things that we've chosen to, places that we've chosen to be in, right? Because Taurus usually makes the decision and the choice to be in a place. Whereas Libra, it rules making choices and decisions, but usually it has found itself in a place based on its, receptivity being so great. Whereas Taurus is like, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Libra is like, maybe, perhaps, also, kinda, sorta, I think. So then it's kind of like many things are happening. Uranus, okay? But Saturn is like, no, get shit in order. You've got all these great qualities, right? The Empress. Get things in order, Justice card. And look at how great things will be once you've got them in order. Then you can really appreciate everything that you've got going on. Now, the Temperance card to me is related to balance. And it's also related to relationships and commitments and institutions too. Sometimes I think of like if you double up a number, like take 7 and double up is 14. 14 is the Temperance card. Temperance is a 5 related to the Hierophant. Hierophant is Taurus, which goes back to Venus. I don't know why I do that, or if that's like just total BS, but that's what I think. That's how I think, you know. Or that's what happens. It's not how I think, it's just what happens. Remember, we had 2 full moons in Libra. So the new moon in Libra is talking about relationships and how we determine what our relationships are teaching us and showing us about ourselves, right? What choices and decisions are we making based on what we know to be the truth about our experience, our situations, our circumstances? Am I living my truth? Am I letting my insecurities get in the way of me living my truth? Am I letting the way that things always have been get in the way of me living my truth? But if you have Pluto in Libra, a lot of your relationships are going to be karmic. Saturn in Libra puts a lot of emphasis and focus on marriage too. What are you learning from your commitments? Are you applying that, right? Is there a level of respect there? Because, you know, Saturn wants respect. Libra wants respect too. Everybody wants respect. But I feel like Libra sometimes, not from any of the readers or people that I watch, because they know, but I feel like sometimes people think that Libras are detached, which they are, because you can drain their energy very easily because they're people pleasers, right? Because they know what it feels like to be pleased. So why wouldn't you want to be pleased, right? But sometimes, you know, it's not really about the other person's pleasure, right? It is, but it's also about mine. And, you know, generating more and more pleasure is bringing Libra more pleasure. I couldn't get fresh flowers tonight, but I have a pomegranate, pearls, they're here, a clamshell or an oyster, or no, it's a clamshell, and some flowers, including roses, and 2 little dancers, and this is a blue jay feather that I found in the park. I love it. I've been taking cough medicine and cold medicine and shit all day. I would have got a haircut. He didn't give me the part, but maybe it wasn't time for the part anymore. This time the part is not there, darling. Libra. I'm fine with that. It looks good, I think. And of course I looked at my wallet and I was like, fuck, I forgot to go back to the bank. Because I got the money. I took money out of my account, right? At the ATM so that I could have it to get the haircut today. But when I went last night, I saw him singing karaoke, okay? And I was like, I don't know. I'm going to go back and see like if they're still going to be cutting my hair. I kind of had a feeling that it wasn't going to happen. But I went back. By that time I went back, they were all drinking and doing whatever. So he said, come back tomorrow. So I said, okay. So then I was like, let me go and get some food. I went and got some Chinese food and no meat. I got like soup because I needed it. And I used the money that I was going to get for the haircut that night for the food. So I forgot to get the money again today because there's literally no chase by me. And when I got up, I kept thinking too when I was sitting in the chair, I was like, the 20 is in your pocket? It's in your wallet. It's in your wallet. You know, you have it. And I had some other stuff, some other money for that, for the haircut. And I was like, why do I keep thinking about this money? I got it out of the bank yesterday, and then when I got up to sit and pay him, I was like, fuck. So I'm like, how much is a haircut? I had enough for the haircut, but it wasn't what I usually give him. Okay. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to make this right. I'm gonna have to balance this situation out. So I was like, I'll be right back. I'll bring you that other part. So I went, got a little distracted in the CVS, but I eventually came back maybe 15 minutes later, and I made good on my promise. See, Libra is also related to the markets, right? And that also is related to Saturn, economy and money, government, fairness, taxes. But the balance is really what they would use to weigh out the product, so that they could come up with the most equalized, fair trade. That's also Libra. Fair trade. Libra really idolizes partnership, because if you didn't have anything to relate to, how would you know who you were? How would you know? Because you would still be relating to something if you are like, I would just know because I know. Or I would just know because of the divine. Well, you're relating to that. That's a relationship too. Venus is a sacred planet. Right? And she's a feminine sign that rules, or a feminine planet that rules a masculine sign. The sun is debilitated in Libra. Mars, the sun is in its fall, and Mars is debilitated there. Right now, Mars and Venus are both in Libra with the sun, and I believe a couple of asteroids. Libra sextiles, right? Positive energy with Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Specifically Leo. My chart ruler's there. This is so like casual, you guys. I don't know what else I would say about Libra. You guys know me. A lot of times Libra, what I could say right now that's going on in our country, because, I always have to give something that's going on in our country, and I don't really care about whether or not, politics are something that we all are affected by, okay? But what's going on right now with Saturn and Pluto squaring the planets that are in Libra, right? But Saturn also being exalted in Libra. The last time that Saturn and Pluto were together, conjunct, was 35 years ago. Around the time many of us were born, including they're big planets for me. So I'm just awaiting this great change and this transformative energy, and it's been happening for me for quite a while. And there have been so many changes that have been happening. It's just so crazy. I have dated a Libra. Very handsome, very well dressed, very well spoken, smelled great, wonderful, attire, textiles, layers, and things. Speaking of layers, they were a Scorpio moon and an Aries rising. North Node in Aries. Mercury also in Scorpio. Anyway, I could determine what was very Libra and what was very Aries and what was very Scorpio. Right? Because I myself was a Libra, and in my Libra rising, I have Pluto in my first house, which is basically like Pluto. Pluto and Mars co-rule the first house. My book here says it. Everybody doesn't go off of that information, but I will definitely take it because it is the first house of power and the self and, life and death, right? You're given life, bam, that's Pluto right there. Transformative being brought here. So that would mean that it was debilitating in Libra, but it is my first house though, so that's some shit right there. When you're a Libra rising and you got planets in places where they might be exalted or where they might be in their ruling position, but then they're in the opposite house of that position that they naturally rule, but they're still in that sign. It's really wild. I love it. Should I read something for you guys before I go? Let's see. Let's see Sun in the 7th house. Those with the 7th house Sun express their power potential through close personal relationships. If the Sun is well aspected, they will attract strong, capable, and close, loyal friends. Very interesting, related to Aquarius. Marriage is of paramount importance in their lives, and if the Sun is well aspected, they will attract strong, loyal mates with enduring affection. If the Sun is afflicted, there may be danger of domination either by the native or by his partner. The native may tend to force his will on others. In such a case, this position of the Sun demands that the native learn to cooperate and to respect the individual self-expression of others. If the Sun is not afflicted, there can be increasing success in life after marriage. This position favors popularity, dealings with superiors, and a self-confident manner. Persons with this Sun position are especially adept at public relations and can become good salesmen or promoters. Alright, Sun in the 7th house. Just a little something for you guys. But, in my sickly mode, that is my take on Libra season. As far as the Libra new moon, it's talking about clearing out relationships, new beginnings in relationships, clearing out those old emotions, right, that are tied to the past relationships that you've had. Change your perspective, right? See what your relationships have taught you, right? Saturn just went direct, right? Okay. And being that the Sun is there in Libra is bringing some focus to that, right? Mars and Venus are in Libra right now. the lovers of the zodiac, bringing so much attention to people who have a lover or a significant other. Whether you're married, you're dating someone, you're dating a few people, you're just seeing people, or whatever. Everybody's starting to realize if people were good for them, if they can let someone back into their life in a different way, right? Or if you just want to cut it and clear it all together, you know. There could even be like some people who might just be giving up friends or giving up lovers, or maybe lovers will become friends, you know. And for those of you who are Libra risings, this is a clearing out of your own energy. I know that I feel like, a little sickly, but I'm good, honey. I done already went out for my birthday. I'm gonna go out some more many times. And I'm still doing these videos, I had to bite the bullet. I had to come to a place of feeling, good again, and drinking water and stuff. I still need to probably drink more. I need to rest a little bit more too. But absolutely. We're experiencing some karmic transformations that are going on in your home life, in your security, how secure you feel with your reality or where you've placed yourself, right? How confident are you that you can move forward into your new reality that you're going, how are you relating to this, right? And then we had the 2 Libra full moons back in the spring. Sorry. And that was really about, identifying with oneself and your emotions, right? What's your process been? How have you evolved since that 6-month period? Okay? And that was like Saturn as well. Saturn was going retrograde, right? Now it's going direct, and we're back at that Libra energy, but in the new moon phase, right? Letting things go. Starting over. Trusting, Trusting your truth. Belief in oneself, and also the belief in others, and belief in others, right? We definitely don't want to let things get in our way in terms of development, growth, maturing, understanding that relationships change and they just have to be appreciated and honored in the different ways that they sort of morph into the new, right? Because Uranus, being the esoteric ruler of Libra, is also talking about things morphing and changing, right? What is your idea of a healthy relationship? What is your idea of an intimate relationship? What is your idea of a sexual relationship, right? What is your idea of a healthy relationship with your family, right? Siblings, mother. Do you have that? Do you prefer to have that? Do you prefer to not have a relationship? Because not having a relationship with someone may not be unhealthy. It might actually be healthier for you than actually having the relationship, right? Sometimes you have to cut people off, or you just need your own time, because Libra does like to detach from the forces that it's so sensitive to, which is just everything that's external to it, right? It's kind of like how sensitive this feather is hanging in the balance right here, right? Very indicative of the Hanged Man, which is Neptune, the higher octane of Venus, which rules Pisces, right? The sign that Venus is exalted in, sensitive to external influences. as you keep your head about you and know who you are, as well as who other people are as well, because doesn't Libra have to do with open enemies, right? And Pisces is hidden enemies. Right, Venus wants peace, but some people will give peace, but secretly be giving side eye too. Yeah, it's okay. Venus is popular, so when you're popular, you're undoubtedly going to have some people that don't like the fact that you are popular. That comes from an unhealthy ego from whoever doesn't like the fact that other people might be getting attention or might be getting noticed or some social acclaim or what have you. I'm kind of going on and on, but I don't want this video to be too long. Maybe I'll do a part 2. I just felt like I needed to put something up for you guys because, I got really busy. I had a photo shoot last weekend, then I went out for my birthday. I've been doing auditions. I'm going to start dancing soon, going back into rehearsals. I'm really good. I'm healthy. My body's feeling good again, and I'm taking care of myself. I just need to not give away too much of my energy, which Libras can do. And I feel like that's another thing too. We're gonna stop giving away our energy so that we can use it for ourselves as well. Cause what good is a fancy car with an empty gas tank? Alright, yeah, I'm not going to pull any cards. I'm going to now, after this, start doing those monthlies. Okay? For sure. Alright, bye everybody. Enjoy Libra season. I know I am, and I will continue to. Like Scorpio season too. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Providence Tarot. I'm also NYC Kendrick there. My Kendrick NYC account is changing. It is now becoming candid shots of New York City. And I love that because I'm running around all the time and I'm always telling you guys about it. But now you'll get some visuals, right? You'll be visually cued in on where I be going. Which is mainly Union Square and Lower East Side and Alphabet City and, I don't know, the Bronx, right? Gramercy Park, Chelsea, West Village, Greenwich Village, okay, everywhere. So Kendrick NYC is going to become that. Love that. The Tongue Pop is my food account. And, Providence Tarot, of course. If you'd like a personal reading from me, right? This was not a reading. This was just kind of like us having a conversation about Libra season and the new moon. Email me at providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. I did some readings today and over the weekend on Sunday, obviously, because I read it on Shanti on Sundays at 12 to 5. And then I also did some readings on Saturday just because, I had them. Pushing through, me getting this little cold didn't really stop me. So here we go with the rest of October. My birthday's tomorrow, you guys. If you want to send me happy birthday wishes, please do. Oh, shout out to Sage Intuitive Love. Happy birthday, boo. And also Jimmy Carter. His birthday is October 1st. Oh, I'm about to go in for Libra season. I'm just going to be putting up videos for Libra season. Hopefully, if I have time. Alright. I love you guys. Bye.